So numbers, when they are stored, Python likes it if you're more efficient by being clear about whether a number should be a whole number, which we call an integer, or integer, int, or whether it should have room for a decimal place, which we call float. Here's an example of an integer. It's a whole number. Here's an example of a floating point number, or float. I've just done a little program here that will show you how you can change things. So what I have here, I've made a value, a variable, and I've put 5 into it. That's a whole number, so that's an integer. In fact, I could even make this clearer. Okay, so I've asked it to print x, and x is an integer, so it will just print 5. But I can turn a value into a number with a decimal place, if I need to at some time, by putting the word float or int in front of the value. So here I have 5. It will first of all print 5, because it's going to print that number, and then it's going to print 5 as though it has a decimal place, so it will be 5.0. Then I've put another value here, y. Y is 2.5, so we see it's got a decimal. If I print it as normal, it will be 2.5. If I print it as an integer, it will round the number to the nearest number. And I believe that Python always rounds down, so I'm going to run. There we have it's 5. Then it becomes a floating point number with a decimal. Then y is 2.5, and then it's converted to an integer. I just want to check. Now, in our maths, what we would be told is to round up to 3. But I think Python always rounds down. I want to check. Yeah, so it always rounds down. It just drops off the bit there. Okay, so that's using float and integers. What's more useful is that sometimes you need to make sure that something that came in as text, as an input, might need to be changed to an integer if you want to do any sort of a calculation with it.